in exploring the question, why do women feel the need to interfere in men's hobbies? It's essential to recognize that this topic is layered with complexities rooted in gender dynamics, societal expectations, and individual experiences. This inquiry is not merely about the hobbies themselves, but reflects deeper themes of identity, validation, and relational dynamics. Historically, the division of labor and interests has often been defined by gender. Men have traditionally engaged in hobbies that are seen as masculine, such as sports, gaming, and various forms of craftsmanship, while women have been associated with nurturing roles and domestic activities. This division, however, is increasingly blurred in modern society, where women are not only participating in traditionally male-dominated hobbies, but are also pushing back against stereotypes that dictate what is acceptable for each gender. One perspective suggests that women's involvement in men's hobbies can stem from a desire for connection. When women engage with the interests of their male counterparts, it can serve as a bridge for communication and bonding. It's not uncommon for women to seek common ground, particularly in romantic relationships, where shared interests can foster intimacy. This desire to connect is often misinterpreted as interference. For instance, consider a scenario where a woman expresses interest in her partner's hobby, like video gaming. At first glance, this may appear as an intrusion. However, it could be an attempt to understand and share in something important to him. It raises the question, is this need to involve oneself in a partner's hobbies a reflection of genuine interest or an obligation to participate in their world? Conversely, men might perceive this involvement as an invasion of their space, a space that they regard as a personal sanctuary. This perception can lead to feelings of resentment or discomfort, especially if they feel their hobbies are being scrutinized or judged. This highlights a critical aspect of the discussion, the differing perceptions of involvement based on gender norms. Moreover, societal expectations often place pressure on women to maintain relationships, sometimes leading them to sacrifice their own interests in favor of their partners. This dynamic can create a sense of imbalance, where one partner's passions take precedence over the others. When women feel the need to engage in their partner's hobbies, it might stem from a place of seeking validation and acceptance within the relationship. On the other hand, there is also a possibility that women perceive hobbies as a reflection of a partner's identity. By engaging in these interests, they might feel they are better able to understand their partner's values and motivations. In this sense, involvement can be viewed as an exploration of identity, both theirs and their partner's. Furthermore, we must consider the influence of cultural narratives. In many societies, there is a stereotypical notion that women must support their partners, often at the expense of their own ambitions. This narrative can lead to feelings of inadequacy when a woman's interests do not align with those of her partner. As a result, some women may feel compelled to take an active role in their partner's hobbies in hopes of fostering a sense of belonging. Additionally, the digital age has transformed how hobbies are perceived and shared. With the rise of social media and online communities, hobbies have become more public and communal. Women may feel the need to engage in their partner's hobbies not only to connect, but also to navigate these shared spaces together. Platforms that highlight hobbies and interests can lead to a more integrated approach, where both partners participate in each other's activities, fostering a sense of unity. Yet this integration can also lead to conflict. If a woman engages in her partner's hobbies but feels dismissed or undervalued, it can breed resentment. This underlines the importance of communication in relationships. Open dialogues about interests can help clarify intentions and boundaries, allowing both partners to express their needs without feeling threatened. Moreover, we should consider the implications of gender stereotypes on this dynamic. The stereotype that women are less capable in certain hobbies can lead to a defensive reaction from men. When a woman shows interest in a hobby that is traditionally seen as masculine, it can trigger insecurities or provoke a sense of competition. This reaction can create an atmosphere where women feel they must prove their worth in these spaces, further complicating the dynamics at play. It's also important to acknowledge that not all women feel the need to interfere in men's hobbies. Some women may choose to pursue their own interests independently, adhering to a belief that personal passions should remain separate. This perspective is equally valid and reflects the diversity of experiences among women. So, what does this mean for both genders? For men, it is crucial to understand that a partner's interest in their hobbies may not stem from a desire to undermine them, but rather from a place of love and curiosity. Embracing this involvement can lead to richer, more fulfilling relationships, where both partners feel valued and understood. For women, it's essential to balance the desire for connection with the need for personal space. Engaging in a partner's interests should not come at the cost of one's own passions. Both partners should feel encouraged to explore their own hobbies while also finding ways to share experiences. This balance can foster a healthier relationship dynamic. As we reflect on these themes, it's worth considering how our societal frameworks shape these interactions. What societal narratives push women to engage in men's hobbies? Are these narratives evolving, and how do they affect individual choices? Moreover, how can both genders work together to create a more inclusive environment where interests are shared rather than dictated? It's a dialogue that can lead to deeper understanding and respect for each other's passions. Engaging in these conversations can also dismantle harmful stereotypes that suggest certain hobbies are inherently gendered. As more individuals challenge these norms, we may see a shift in how hobbies are perceived and valued across genders. Ultimately, the question of why women feel the need to interfere in men's hobbies opens the door to a broader discussion about gender roles, identity, and relationships. It invites us to reflect on our experiences and consider how we can navigate our interests in a way that honors both ourselves and our partners. As we conclude this exploration, I invite you to share your thoughts and experiences. Have you found yourself involved in a partner's hobbies? How did that affect your relationship? What are your views on the balance between shared interests and individual passions? Let's keep the conversation going. Thank you for tuning in to this discussion on silk masks. Your insights are invaluable, and I look forward to hearing your perspectives in the comments.